Hi, I'm Sara Elizabeth with Life Out Loud Films, and today we wanted to go through and answer some of the questions that we've been getting over social media and email from filmmakers like you. A lot of them I've noticed have circled around the issue of investing, so let's just jump right in and hopefully they'll answer some of the questions that you have as well. What materials should I have together when pitching investors? This is a good question. I typically have three main documents that I use when I pitch investors. The first one is your film deck, which is, I think, the most important because it's the first point of contact that you have with your investors. It's your main marketing tool. The deck should give an overview of the project, the people that are involved, maybe some comparable projects, your vision. It really is your first selling point for the project, and because it's in like a PowerPoint slide sort of presentation, it also should be something that's very visually pleasing. And when I say visually pleasing, that visuals that you have, the colors, the pictures that you're painting, it really should also represent the tone and feel of your film. What I do with my deck, I also usually have two versions. One is what I call my general version that I can send to anybody about the project and they can get a good overview of what it's about. Then I also have a backup version that is my investor version that has about 3 additional slides that outline the basics of the investment. What's our minimum investment? What does the waterfall look like? Just to kind of give them a taste of what the offering is to determine whether or not they actually might be interested. So that is the deck. The deck's super important because, again, it is a marketing material and it's what you're using to get people's interest in the project itself. And that's something you could use for distributors, investors, the press, etc. Then if somebody sees the deck, especially the investor version, and they look at the basics and that's enough for them to determine that they're interested in the project and want to look closer, that's when I go and I send them the prospectus. Now, our prospectus is kind of a combination between a PPM and a business plan. The business plan is going to give an outline of your company, what you're offering, some of the marketing advantages and whatnot. And then your PPM is much more nuts and bolts, the risk of investing, how the investment is set up. It's the offering specifically to the investment itself. So our prospectus is a combination, like I said, of the business plan and also the PPM. And then we also have kind of made it, especially in the areas that we've been talking to investors who are not necessarily film savvy and don't typically invest in film, we've also kind of made our prospectus what I call a film 101. So there's a whole section that just kind of overviews the industry because for a lot of these people, they know nothing about it. So the thought of investing can be very overwhelming. So we include that in our prospectus as well. And then if a potential investor sees that, that's usually when they make the decision of whether or not they want to invest. And then the final document that you have to have ready is strictly legal and it's your operating agreement. And that's the document that they're going to sign when they actually make the commitment to get involved and invest in your project. So those are the 3 main documents that I use. In addition, I usually always have a one-sheet that's the basic information about the project that I can send to anybody, not necessarily just investors. And the times I use that is when I know somebody doesn't have the time or I'm not going to have their attention enough to actually flip through a deck, which could be, 12 to 20 pages. So I definitely have the one sheet. And then I always also do a pro forma, which is in our case, a 2-page spreadsheet that just gives an example of an investor. If an investor invests X amount, here is their potential ROI. They're low, they're medium, they're high. It's definitely much more of like a numbers spreadsheet, but I found that investors like to take a look at that just to kind of back everything up with some potential numbers. So those are the documents that I use. It might sound overwhelming. If you need help with these documents, one of the things we do at Life Out Loud Films is the development materials. So give us a ring. We'll see if we can help you to develop these so that you don't have to spend the time trying to figure it out. And we can actually do that for you. So that is the answer to our question for the day. So thank you for tuning in, and I wish you the best of luck with all your projects and keep living life out loud.